And now I want to take some time to talk about the performance of our head coach, Sam Pittman. Love the guy and want him to succeed as much as anyone. I love all these players and coaches and want them to succeed at the highest level. I will never be against them, but I will continue to be honest in my evaluations of their performance. And once again tonight, in my opinion, Sam showed no growth in his ability to manage a football game. Starting with the very first drive, Arkansas gets the ball, is off to a hot start right out of the gates, quickly crosses the 50-yard line and stalls a bit to a 4th and 2 situation at, I believe it was the 42-yard line, and instead of going for it with arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country and an offense that, as I said, was already moving the ball well, what does he do instead? Sends out a true freshman kicker in his first time in an SEC road environment to try to make a 50-plus yard field goal. So instead of riding the momentum of the opening drive with his star quarterback, like I think a good coach would have done in that situation, he chooses to send out a freshman kicker in a unfavorable situation. He misses the field goal. Momentum immediately flips over to Ole Miss, which they take advantage of by pounding it into the end zone and striking first blood. Then fast forward to the end of the first half. Arkansas is driving the field in the red zone with under 2 minutes to go. An opportunity to milk some more clock before putting it into the end zone to give Ole Miss's offense as little time as possible, because at this point we already have become fully aware, all right, our defense is playing like hot garbage. We can't stop a nosebleed. But because we're not coached up well enough in that situation, we're snapping the ball with 20 seconds left on the play clock, pretending like game clock management doesn't even exist. And then, of course, once again, Ole Miss takes advantage, drives the field, and kicks a field goal to go ahead at the half. That situation wasn't as bad to me as the first drive decision. However, it is another situation where a better coached team manages it more efficiently and potentially keeps Ole Miss from having that opportunity to take the lead. And now, finally, let's take a look at that last drive of the game, to the fumble which potentially cost Arkansas the opportunity to win the game. In my opinion, a smarter head coach is running the football there. They're not passing the football. And although it's not like it was an interception, I get that. I get that the coach can't control that the wide receiver fumbled. However, they can control where the ball is going. And I guarantee that Mike Washington Jr. or Braylon Russell are a lot less likely to fumble the ball in that situation than that 170-pound wide receiver, Jaylen Brown. To me, it was just another slight instance of not knowing how to utilize your personnel to its maximum potential. Once again, you're in a situation under 2 minutes to go, near the red zone. You're trying to milk the clock and score the game-winning touchdown. You're rushing for over 6 yards per carry. Your offensive line is getting after their defensive front and handling their business. You talk about wanting to be a tough, physical, hard-nosed running football team, and then when the perfect opportunity presents itself to be that, you put it in the air. Was it a terrible play call? No, not by any means. Should the player have fumbled the ball? Obviously not. But the better play call, the better decision in that situation to me would have been to undoubtedly try to impose your will. Try to pound it down their throat, milk the clock, and score the game-winning touchdown with no time for Ole Miss to respond. If they force you to throw the ball, then so be it. But make them force you to throw the ball. Am I being a little bit nitpicky? Yes, I'll admit that to some extent. But there has been several instances over Sam Pittman's career, like the ones that I'm mentioning right now, where if he does manage the game better, his record in one-possession games wouldn't be so abysmal. Like I said, I love Sam Pittman, and I will always try to support him and all the players and all the coaches to the fullest. But part of love is honesty. And speaking honestly, I just haven't seen anything from Coach Pittman over his tenure here at Arkansas to lead me to believe he has what it takes to be a good in-game manager. I like a lot of his coaching hires. I like a lot of the players he's bringing in. I think he's assembled a pretty talented football team this year. But in terms of being able to maximize them to their full potential on game day, I just haven't seen it.